Let us look into the collections of the dot, and first of all we'll look into the list, and then we'll see the sets and the maps later on. So we'll start with the collection, and previously we learned about the control flow. So let us take into the list today, and I have added a one folder collection, and I have added a list dot file over here. If you are following along, you can just add that particular file over here and add a main function over here. So let us create our first variable where I'll just say my list, and let's keep create. So when I say a square box over here, give a square box over here, you can see that opening and closing box of this particular square or something. I'm not sure what actually it's called, but when I say that, this means a list. And if I go over here and say it says the list of the dynamic, so this is type of the list of the dynamic, and it's quite similar to the Java array. So you can see, you may, if you are coming from a Java background, you may be confused that, oh, this is an array, but no, it's each list in the Dart programming language as well as on the Flutter. And in the Flutter development, this is the most used the type that we'll be using whenever we are dealing with any of the collection. Mostly we will use this list type, and it's really important to understand this particular list. So now I can add a value, let's say a 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4, and now let's say we have a 4, and I can just go and print out this one for in loop. And we have already learned this one. I have my list over here, and then I can just print out over here, and we will just call the item that we have inside it. Now I can just run this one, and you can see it printed out 1 2 3 4. So this is a list, and it's the type is of the dynamic, and currently it's saying a list of the int, but basically it's a type of the dynamic. So which dynamic means that I can actually go and add more type over here. Like let's see, if I want to add a that is of a type of string, and I can just say cat over here, and I can just add another, like let's say a false. So I can add all kind of the data type over here. So that basically says this is a list of the object. But if I just add the integer over here, it will just say a list of the int. And if I add the other data type, mix the data type over here, that will be basically a list of the object. And if I go and print out, it will basically run without any error, because this can hold any type we have just mentioned as a variable. So strictly, if you want to create some kind of the list for the particular type, you want to be strict over there. So I can just say let's say list of, I will just say int, and then with this I'll just say num list over here, and then I can just go and create a list. And now I can just add a 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. And now if I try to add some kind of the other different kind of the data type over here, let's see, if I try to add a false, then you cannot add in, because we have explicitly mentioned that this list is the type of the integer type. So later in your Flutter development, or any other development that you want to use the dot, so this is the type that you can mention. Like let's say if you have a person, or if you have a blog, or any other type that you want to specify, you can just specify over here. So list, and this is a generic type, and then we pass in the type of the object that we want this list to be. So I need to remove this one, and I can just go and print out this one over here. Just run that one. You can see it will print it out for us 1 2 3 4 5 6. So we learn the dynamic type of the list, as well as we learn the strict type, or we can say that the type, object type, we have an integer over here. And then we can also create another type of a list. Like let's say if I just want to be a type of the string, and then you can just say str list, and then you can just assign it a value. So let's say if I just say a cat, and I can just say a dog, and then I will just close that one, and I can just go and print out this one over here and just run that one. We'll just get a print. So here we are strictly mentioning the type that we are using, int or the string or the any other type. Basically, when you are creating an actual application, you will mention that this is a type of the person or the block or whatever you are getting from the API or your database. And let's say if you want to add more item to this particular list, you can just add, you can use a function that has a pre-built function. So it's our list that we have, and that I can use a add, and here I can add a value of, let's say, a car, and then let us add another one is tr list that we have dot add, and I will add another value of a bus. So we have added a two item. Now if I go and print out this particular, it will, you can see that it printed out for us the cat, dog, car, and the bus. So there is an add if you want to add more items over here. And there is another way to also add in the item. Let's say str list dot insert that we have, and with this insert you can specify the index and the element. So index particularly means that at which location you would like to add that item. So the index would start with a 0, right? So 0, always make sure that you count as a 0. The first item is always a 0 index, and that is how it starts, 0 and the 1, so 2 and 3. So currently we have a 0 to the 3 index, 0 1 0 1 2 and 3 index. So we have that index. So if I say I want to insert add to the 0th position or the first position, and the element I want to insert as a apple over here. So now if I add that one, and if I run my application again, so let us try to run. So you can see apple is inserted at the beginning of the list. So we put the 0 over here, which means that the index, and if you want to add another one is tr list that we have, that insert it. So let me insert it to the 0 1 and the 2, so it should put in front of the car. So if I say 2 over here, and if I add like, let's say a fish over here, and so let me just try to run it again, and you can see that apple, cat, and the fish that we have. So in front of the car, that it has added the fish over there. So this is the another way to add or insert the item to our list. And the another way of inserting, like let's say if you have a to list and you want to copy this particular list over to this list, so you can use that add all. So we will just say num list that we have. So let me add a num list dot, I will say, okay, so we will use a my list because this is type for dynamic and this is the type of the int. So I'll just make it for dynamic, and dot add all, and I will add the all of the iterable, which is the list. So I'll just copy this and paste it to the over here. So now if I go and print out this my list over here, I should get that all of the item added. So you can see that it printed us all of the item for us. Let me arrange it. Yeah, it printed out all of the item, this one plus this one. And also we have another option like the insert all, right? So if I say my list dot insert all, that will insert to the particular index. So I want to currently inserting at the 1 position. I'll just say I want to put in the front, and then I'll just add this particular list over here. Now let me comment out this one, and then let me try to run this particular, let me run the application. You can see that it added 1 2. Okay, wait, okay, so I think we misplaced something. My list has this particular and insert all, and again I added the my list, so that was my fault. It should be of the num list. So let me try to run. Yeah, it will add the 1 2 3 4 5 6. It was added on the first position, which we provided as a 0, right? And 0 is always the index first starting point, so that's why we added it over here. And then it added this particular list, so we inserted one list to the another list and place it on the based on the index. Some of the other properties that we can use with the list is, let me go and just rearrange this one properly. Let me comment out this one. So let me comment out this one first of all, and then we'll just go down and let me go to the my list over here. And we want to print out first of all. So print, I think I'll print out print. Okay, so print, and then we will add a, let's say we want to print out the first item over here. So fir is the first item, and I'll just use a string interpolation and print out the my list dot. I want to print out the length, so I need to use a curly brace over here. So for that I will just paste and the length. So this should give us the length of our list. So if I just go and run this one, and I should get the length. So the first, okay, sorry, I went it wrong, so it should be length. So length, if I print out, it should get me a 13, right? So the length is of 13. So we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, and 1 2 3 4 5 6. So we have a total 7 plus 6, we have a 11 at 13, sorry, not 11. And then what we have is the next one. We will just print out the another one over here. And for that one, what we will do is, okay, what I did is over here and just duplicate the line, and here in I will get the first item. So how do I get the first item from my list? Is the, I can call the first, first. So this should print out the first item for me, and you can see the first item is of the 1. So if I just say it as 10 over here, and can print, that should print me the 10. So that's it, how we get the first item. And let me duplicate this line and let me get the another. So let me get the last over here, last item. So I can just call the last property from here, and that should give me the last item, false. And then let me duplicate one more and let me see another property. We have check the length first, last, and we get the another one is each empty. So each empty, empty, and I can just call from here like each empty, each empty. So that should return us the false because it is not empty, right? So if the list is empty, then you should return it true. And then also we will look into the another one. So let me duplicate this one, and it should be of the reverse, right? reversed, reversed. So here my list.reversed reversed, and that should reverse my list. So it will reverse the list. So now previously we added this one first, and then we added this one. So it just reversed from here to here again, right? That's a false cat A4321654321. So it will reverse our list over here. Next, we'll see how we can update our list. So for that, I'll just comment out this one, and then let us update our list of the str list. So if I want to update that particular list, so what I can say str list that I have, and I can access the position or giving the index. So first one, I'll just give the index over here, and then I will just update it with the cat with something like a camel, and then just go and print out that particular list. So I'll just go and copy this one and try to print out that one. Just uncomment this one, and it is of the str list, right? So just go and print out that one. That should update our list. So where is that camel? Yeah, that is the one that we have updated. So I think I str list, we added some item over here. Okay, so this is the one that we can update. We have to access the position and then we have to update it. So let's say if I want to say that 01 position, that should replace the dog with the camel. And if I just go and run that one, now we have apple and the camel, right? So we just, okay, so that, yeah, that 01 is of a dog. So that one was updated to our camel over here. And so we have learned about add and update, and also the final part I think we will just cover up the remove. So how we can remove the item from our list. So that is also important. So what we'll do is, okay, let me just bring it back. And then let's say we have a list. Okay, so I'll just take a list of the my num list because we are not modifying anywhere from here. So I'll just get that list, and let's say if I want to remove, so I can just call the remove from here dot remo remove. So here, and here I need to pass the value. So what value do you want to remove from here? So let's say I want to remove the value of the let's say a 3, right? So I have a 3 over here, and let me remove that one. And then if I print out that particular, just copy this one, and I just try to print out over here, and from the, okay, so let me erase this one, and I must print out the num list over here. And so that should remove that particular item from here. We are removing at position, remove the number 3. So here is the 3. So just run that one. There we can see that it has been removed. So 10, 2, and the 3 is removed from there. So another way is also remove at the position. So if you want to remove at a certain position, so let's say if I just copy and paste it over below over here, and let me comment out this one. So let us comment out this one, and here I will just remove out the remove add. So instead of remove, remo remove add, so I need to give a position. So this remove add, you can need to pass the position or the index. So index, we know we can count it from 0, 1, 2, and 3. So let us remove the fourth. So 0, 1, 2, and 3. So the fourth is on the index of the 0, 3. So here, so that should remove the 4. And if I go and run this one, that should remove the 4. So index 3 is our value each of the 4. So just make sure you remember the index, and the index is different, and the counting, we count from, always count from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We get that is particularly length, but if you want to count the index, we count it from the, yeah, the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have an index up to 0 to 5 over here, but if we get the length, we will get a 6 over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is the item count. Item count is a different, and the index is a different. So make sure you take a note if you are just learning about the list over here. You can also make use of others, like there are a lot of other properties that you can actually make use. So if I just remove this one, you can just go and practice at your own, and I can just say remove last. We have a remove range, remove where condition that you can put. You can just go to the Dart documentation and learn more about it, so you will be more familiar. So if I just point out over here, it says that remove the object at the position index from the list, right? So you can actually go and just get some get the properties over here, and you can just point out over here, and you will see that it will give you a nice documentation. So by reading it, you will understand what it actually want to do. So like remove the and returns the last object in this list, and this list must be growable and not empty. So make sure when you are removing at the last, it should have some item, and it should be of the growable. So if I say remove the item at the last, that should remove the particularly item from the last, which is a 6. That should be gone, right? So if I just go and run, yeah, number 6 is gone. So this is how you can actually go and take a look into the more properties. The more important is the important one is to add, insert, and to the remove and the update. So these are the basic things that we actually do with the list, adding, inserting, updating the items in our list. So just make sure you go and learn more of the other properties, because list is really important if you are developing any application. The list is the most important thing, and that we'll be using with our daily application development. So let's meet up on the next one. Till then, have a great day.